If you want to make an extra $10,000 in 2025, this is exactly how to do it, even in one of the toughest economies New Zealand has seen since the early 1990s. Now, to start with, what we need to be thinking about is, do we want to do this via hours or skills? We'll come back to that. And then the next thing is, how can we break this down so that figure doesn't seem too unrealistic? So $10,000 divided by 12 months is $833 per month. Now it looks a little bit more achievable to the brain, but of course we haven't started yet. So what I would suggest you do is think about what service you could provide to other people. Now, that might take some time, but you want to actually do a brainstorm and figure out, okay, what could I help people with? And the way I teach this is I think about myself or yourself in a cul-de-sac. What do people in that cul-de-sac need help with? Go and take a walk around the cul-de-sac or maybe your street and have a look at the problems that you can see and think whether you could be the person to help them do that. Now, instantly, some of you are going to go, well, I can't do that. I don't have tools. I don't have a vehicle. You're going to look for all the reasons you can't do it. For fuck's sake, tidy your mindset up to start with and look for ways that you can do it. But I knew that some of you would start there and object there, and you're about to jump off the video, so I thought, well, I'll put this bit in here too to try and help you tidy up your mindset, because you're still looking for problems and that's what's ingrained in you, and that sucks. Your life is going to be very hard, and I don't want your life to be hard. So for you, to start with, maybe go into your garage and have a look at the resources you already have. You may have a spade, you may have a weed whacker, you may have a water blaster. Oh my gosh, those are now assets that you can use to generate you income. But then, of course, keyboard cowboy's going to be like, no, I don't have any of that stuff. All good and well for you to say. Oh, God's sake. Okay, what do you have around the house that you could sell, that you could swap for something that you know how to use, like a spade, like a water blaster, etc.? You've got to do some thinking here. I know it's really scary. I know it's hard. I know people have been spoon feeding you for so long, but it's all good. We can solve these problems. Heaps of other people are doing it. Now, we're going to take some of these things we don't need, sneakers, old clothes, equipment we don't use. The average Kiwi household has $1,400 worth of shit in their garage that they don't use. So you could sell that and turn it into cash via social media, Trade Me, Marketplace, etc. A local market. Oh my God, I've got to do some work. Are you saying yes, you're going to have to do some work? And you can turn that into cash and you can go buy the water blaster, and then bang, you've got an asset to go generate income. Again, I'm trying to show you ways to break down some of these objections that your brain's going to give you. But now, let's have some high-hitting data to help you understand how possible this actually is. Because for a lot of you, you'll think, okay, well, 10 grand, that's quite a lot of money. Others will be like, that's not even worth it. To have 10 grand net, you probably have to make 15 grand to then pay 33% in tax. If 5 grand's gone, you got 10 grand left. But let's just ignore taxes for now to keep it simple. But I know that someone will be in the comments, you forgot about taxes. I'm an accountant. I haven't fucking forgot about taxes. It's what I do every day. Anyway, then there's the people, stop swearing. Sorry, mate. I'm just raw, authentic, and get fired up and excited to help people. And it resonates with some people. Anyway, let's leave that there. So I thought what we were doing, let's go and have a look at how much cash is actually out there. Well, did you know that there's 250 billion New Zealand dollars in the bank accounts of Kiwi people? So total deposits with banks are 250 billion. I think that's savings and term deposits alone. Then when you add on transaction accounts, it's probably even higher than that. What this tells us, as interest rates come down too, some people are going to move this money out of their term deposits. And what are they going to do? Hopefully spend it with you, who take your water blaster around and say, would you like me to clean your deck? We'll get to that. Now, there are, even if we strip out the $140 billion of term deposits, which are locked away earning interest, then we've got still $110 billion in savings accounts that people can access quickly, plus then transactions accounts. There's fuckloads of money out there is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? So when you go 10 grand's a lot of money, no, it's not. There's billions, hundreds of billions of dollars that's there. We need to go and ask for it in order to get it. So how are we going to do it? Well, we have to provide services for people. Now, let's look at cleaning as an example. And before we dive into cleaning, a little bit more for those, oh, I've got so many objections. Why don't you go through and look at all your subscriptions that you're currently paying for? Disney, Plus, I don't have any of them, so I can't, just trying to think of some examples, Netflix, etc. Why don't you take those, stop paying for them, stop spending your time and your money on those, and then stack up enough to then go and buy an asset to then generate income with it like a water blaster. Or, for God's sake, this one's crazy, but why don't you go on social media, the thing that you normally leave negative comments to other people about how hard your life is and how easy others are, and ask them, like, use social media for what it was designed for. Hey guys, does anybody have a water blaster that I could borrow? I would be so thankful. Yes mate, I'll bring it round right now. Oh my God, something positive just happened in my life. Holy shit. Yes, that's what social media is designed for. This has been fun so far. Okay, let's keep going guys, let's keep going. So cleaning as an example, because cleaning is one of the main things at the moment that I have had people tell me that is the task that they wish that they could outsource. And I also have a client who turns over well over $1 million selling cleaning services. Shit, you know what people value? Convenience and not having to do things. All of us could become a cleaner to make a bit of extra cash. And this is one example, because I know, again, keyboard commenter, oh, cleaning, I can't do cleaning, what about me? Fucking figure your own thing out. But cleaning is going to work for a lot of people. So this is just an idea to get you started, because the easy option is to get a second job in this country. Oh, okay, $10,000. Let's divide that by $30 an hour, just as a rough thing here. 333 hours of work at $30 to make $10,000. Do you want to do 333 hours of work to make 10K? Of course, ignoring taxes. Divide that by 52, it's 6.4 hours. Just work Saturdays. Easy. Easy as that. $30 an hour every Saturday, and you've got your 10 grand. Piece of piss. But I challenge you to think bigger than that, and I don't like to encourage people to think about extra hours to make money, because there's more to it than that. But you could use that to get started, to then build up the kitty, to then go and buy the assets that you need to generate the income. So cleaning is a good example to look at that's different, because these are skills, and skills pay the bills, because we can sell value rather than our time. Now, we're going to walk around the cul-de-sac, like I said before, and we're going to go up and down, and we're going to figure out, okay, what do people need help with? Then we're going to do this amazing thing. We're going to knock on a door, or we're going to put a pamphlet in, and we're going to offer to help people. We're going to offer to help people. Imagine offering to help somebody and then asking to transact with them after you provide the help, because that's what people pay for, help and solutions. So if we take our $10,000 and we divide this by 500, cleaning's not $500, you dickhead. How the hell? Seriously, man, why do I have to keep pointing out all these quitters that just have all the reasons things can't be done? I've seen $500 spent a number of times on cleaning, but anyway, you have to find 20 people that are willing to spend $500 on cleaning. Go and divide 20 by 5.5 billion people and find out what the percentage of New Zealanders is that you have to find in order to find 20 people who will spend $500 with you. Now, think about it, 500 bucks for your negative objective brain. Lawns, car, house, gutters, oven, deck, water blasting. The list goes on. Google it. What other cleaning services could I provide to somebody? So we go and we find one person, and it unlocks everything for us. And we don't even get the 500 in the first go. We get 200 bucks worth of cleaning for them by the time we've done microwave and all sorts of different things. And then we say to that person, is there anybody else that you know that would like me to come and do the same thing for? Anybody at all that you could think of, that would mean so much to me. And they're going to go, oh, I was just talking to Patsy actually about that. And yeah, they do need some help. So maybe I could introduce them to you. Brilliant, okay? And then you ask that person as well, is there anything else you need me doing? Your firewood out the back there, do you need that stacked? Do you need me to organise you some firewood as we head into winter? Those shrubs down the back are looking a little bit untidy. What is it that you need help with? Because I'm willing to do it. Oh my God, imagine offering to help people and getting paid for it. That's how life works. So there we know we've got 20 Saturdays potentially that we have to work, and not every single Saturday. Hence why skills pay the bills and maybe a better option for you to think about. But of course, you could speed this up, you could do some marketing, you could post on social media, you could post on your own social media, you could go into local community groups, but if you ask for referrals and ask if there's anything else that you need done, then you're going to find that you speed this process up. Now, going back to the monetary units, there's so much money out there, and the bulk of the wealth is with older people. Now, what do older people have? Less time than you and I. So what do they want to do with their money? Buy their time back. How do they do that? Paying for convenience. Convenience is king in this day and age, and people will transact for it. That's why cleaning businesses and Tim's mowing, let's say, they're everywhere, because people don't want to do tasks like this anymore. And there's no reason that we can't go and do some of this stuff. So I point that out as an example. But what you really want to do for yourself is figure out what are the services that you can provide to people. It might be digital marketing, it might be creating content, it might be drawing pictures, it could be being a violinist at someone's wedding, it could be being the celebrant. I don't know. You've got to figure out what your skill set are and how you can add value, and go and do that, and then make the cash by making offers to people who need that service. So you go onto your social media and you say, does anybody know someone looking for an MC for their wedding, or for whatever, MC for a wedding is probably not a good one, but you get the drift, right? And then you're going to make the cash. Now, again, some of you are going to be like, I don't want to do that, it's too hard. Well, $10,000, let's get some other ideas. $10,000, what about a boarder? $200 per week, you're going to have well over your 10 grand. What about a tenant? A tenant and a boarder are two very different things. You want to go and research those because they have different tax implications. $300 as a tenant, you're probably going to lose a third of that to tax, so you've got 200 left after tax. Bang, there's your 10 grand. So tick, tick, another couple of examples for you. But I like the idea of taking things that are costing you money and taking your time, i.e. Netflix, etc., and shit in your garage that you don't use, getting your time back by stopping the Netflix, buying an asset with that cash. You've now got that spare time back, and then you turn that asset into extra cash, and then you are on your journey and you're back in control of your finances. So review your current subscriptions, review the things that you don't have around the house, and then think around what your options are to create and add value to other people's lives and service people, and to make some extra money, and then go and buy the assets that you need in order to do that. And maybe you've got to start small and snowball up. I can't do people's gardening because I don't have a vehicle to take their grass to the tip. Thinking wrong. Think be wrong. We need to think correctly. Okay, you can't do that bit yet. You go and mow the lawns and say, hey, do you have anywhere that you can put the grass? Or you find somebody on social media that can do that bit for you. You've got to look for solutions. Stop looking for reasons you can't get ahead, and make your life better. So just the point here, the aging population, which we touched on, and property maintenance as well. That's what a lot of Kiwi people spend money on, maintaining their property. So that's why I use cleaning as an example, but focus on property maintenance. People love, it's the biggest thing that they spend money on in their life. So then to spend $200 around their house is cheap compared to spending $1 million on the property. Price anchoring, that's tiny, that's okay, yep, sweet, happy to pay that. You might clean their pool, whatever you do, it's going to be cheap compared to what they've spent. My house, my castle, it's ingrained in people. So they want to keep it up. They want to have the asset that they have looking good and whatnot. So there's a lot of money in people maintaining their property. So there's solutions there. But if that's not your thing, well, then you've got to figure out what your thing is. I'm just using this as an example. Now, the other thing you could do is you could ask for a pay rise. Are you really going to get a $10,000 pay rise? If you're going to ask, I would ask, how can I add value to ensure that I am worthy of a $10,000 pay rise? What do I need to do? The other thing you could do is look at your friends who have businesses and they probably want to make more money or solve problems in their lives. Have a fucking conversation with them, excuse my language, and ask them, I don't know why I'm apologizing when I've sworn like 1,000 times. Anyway, ask them what you can do to help them. It might be finding more customers for them, finding the right person to come work for them, but they are on a journey of trying to improve their life and make more money and solve people's problems. So if you can get closer to that and you can help them do that, there's a chance that you can clip the ticket to do that as well. Hopefully I haven't missed anything there. We live in one of the easiest times to make money compared to people prior to us, but a lot of people have never learnt the skills on how to do it. And I think that if more people did, they would realize that this is so much more doable than they realize. Now, I feel like as we talked over the last 13 minutes, and I say we talked like you're talking back to me, but really I'm talking to myself here, there was a point that came to my mind and this is it. I actually wrote it down. So, of course, the people who have given up at this stage and they're already in the comments saying how this doesn't work for them or whatever. If you're still watching, here's one for you. Here's one. You know how you've got like 5G internet and you've got the ability to watch this and you're on a device. How much did the device cost you? Just wondering. Anyway, how did you make sense of paying for that? What about if you went and you looked into a recycling bin and you saw some cardboard in there, and you looked in your neighbor's recycling bins, and then you got a pen, and then you wrote on it, raising $1,000 to improve my life, and you went and sat somewhere where there's a high foot traffic, and you put the sign there and you waited for people to give you 10 grand. Now, what's your excuse? How come homeless people and people with less resources than you can figure this out? Strange. How come they're cleaning car windows? How come they're making sense of it? Strange, eh? Hadn't thought about that, had ya? Nah. Rather look at all the reasons we can't do it. It's fucking stupid. Stop it. It's holding you back. It's holding people back. If other people can make sense of it, you've got to ask yourself why you can't. It's probably because it doesn't mean enough to you. So you'd rather spend the time tearing down other people that are having a crack. For the rest of you that are willing to have a crack, I'd love to know how you get on. Keep me posted. You don't have to do this quickly. Got a whole year. Stay consistent with it. Make it happen. I bet you that you can, and I bet in a year's time you'll thank me for it. Go get it.